What do you feel when you see a mouse accidentally? Your heart beats faster than the normal rate. What does the heart do? Have you ever thought about what happens when the heart beats? The heart collects the blood, purifies the blood, and sends the blood to various parts of the body. Recall that humans have a four-chambered heart. Have you ever wondered about the relevance of these chambers? The blood from the body, which is a deoxygenated blood, is taken in by the right side of the heart, which then pumps it into the lungs. In contrast, the left side of the heart receives blood from the lungs and pumps it into the body. So now let us learn more about the human circulatory system in detail. First, let us check the basic components of a circulatory system. The blood vascular system consists of a muscular chambered heart, a network of closed branching blood vessels, and the blood. It is a fluid that is circulated in the human body. The blood is carried through arteries, arterioles, and capillaries to the body, whereas the blood is returned to the heart through venules and veins. So, where is the heart located in the body? The heart is a mesodermally derived organ and it is situated in the thoracic cavity between the two lungs, slightly tilted to the left. The size of the heart is similar to the size of your closed fist. If you check your body, it is made up of muscles. And what makes up the heart? The heart is made up of specialized muscles and they are the cardiac muscles tissues that helps in the involuntary actions. A normal heart weighs around 200 to 250 grams in males and 210 to 225 grams in females. Recall that the human heart has four chambers. Let us have a look at each chamber. There are two chambers at the top and two chambers at the bottom. The two chambers on the top are called atria and the heart has a right atrium and a left atrium. The two chambers on the bottom are called the ventricles. The heart has a right ventricle and a left ventricle separated by a septum. What are the functions of these atria and ventricles? Let us check their functions now. The atria are filled with blood coming back to the heart from the body and lungs. On the other hand, the ventricles pass blood to the lungs and various parts of the heart. What do you infer here? The oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood is passed through the heart simultaneously. Does this infer that all blood gets mixed up? No, never. Our heart has septa to differentiate between different parts of the heart. Let us try to define septum. A septum is a thick wall of muscle that separates the right side and the left side of the heart. Let us check the different septa one by one. First is the interarterial septum. It is a thin muscular wall that separates the right and the left atria. Next is the interventricular septum, which is a thick walled structure which separates the left and the right ventricles. Then comes the atrioventricular septum. This septum is a thick fibrous tissue that divides the atrium and the ventricle on the same side. In our heart, the atria and the ventricles do a team play. Let me explain this to you now. The blood flows from the atria into the ventricles after filling up. Thereafter, the ventricles contracts and pumps the blood from the heart. At the same time, the atria fills up and gets ready for the subsequent contraction as the ventricles contracts. But my question is, how does the blood determine which way to flow when it is pumped? Here comes the action of valves. The tricuspid valve, bicuspid or the mitral valve, and the semilunar valve, that is the aortic valve and the pulmonary valves, are the valves of the human heart. Let us check each valve one by one. The tricuspid valve is seen in the opening between the right atrium and the right ventricle, guarded by this valve. It is formed of three muscular flaps. The opening of the right and the left ventricles into the pulmonary artery and the aorta respectively are provided with the semilunar valves. You may be thinking about the functions of these valves now, right? These valves allow the flow of blood in one direction, that is from atria to the ventricles and from ventricles to the pulmonary artery or aorta. These valves prevent any backward flow. Till now we haven't defined what arteries and veins are, right? Arteries and veins are the blood vessels attached to the heart. The blood vessels that carry blood back to the heart are called veins, and the blood vessels that carry blood away from heart are called the arteries. We know that our body requires oxygenated cells for energy. If it is not adequately supplied or feels less in oxygen, then this will result in cell death. Let us now concentrate on the conducting system of the human heart. Recall that the human heart is made up of cardiac muscles. Other than cardiac muscles, there are certain other structures known as the nodal tissues. These nodal tissues receive the impulses and direct the impulses to the conducting walls of the heart. Let us check the different nodal tissues. The sinoatrial node or the SAN and the atrioventricular node or the AVN are the two major nodal tissues. The sinoatrial node is a small patch of tissue that is present in the right upper corner of the right atrium. Atrioventricular node is a patch of tissue seen in the lower left corner of the right atrium. It is close to the atrioventricular septum. Next, we shall look into the AV bundle. The atrioventricular bundle or the AV bundle continues from the AVN, which passes through the atrioventricular septa to emerge on the top of the interventricular septum and immediately divides into right and left bundle. Purkinje fibers are the branches or the minute fibers that are the connection of the atrioventricular nodes throughout the ventricular musculature of the respective sites. The Purkinje fibers along with right and left bundles are known as bundle of His. The peculiar feature of these nodal tissues is that they can generate action potential of their own. But depending upon the type of nodal tissues, the rate of action potential generated varies. The sinoatrial node can generate the maximum number of action potentials, that is 70 to 75 per minute, and is responsible for initiating and maintaining the rhythmic contractile activity of the heart. Therefore, it is called the pacemaker. Our heart normally beats 70 to 75 times in a minute. Average is 72 beats per minute. We know that in humans, the blood pumped by the heart is always circulated through a closed network of blood vessels, right? This type of blood flow is often termed as a closed circulatory system. This system is often seen in higher organisms like annelids and in chordates. The beneficial part is that the blood flow can be regulated. Then what about lower organisms? They have an open system of circulation. The blood pumped by the heart passes through the large vessels into open spaces or body cavities called sinuses. The open system of circulation is especially seen in the members of arthropods, hemichordates and mollusks. Now, it is time to discuss the circulatory system in different organisms. Fishes have two-chambered hearts. They have one atrium and a ventricle. Single circulation is seen in fishes. So what is single circulation? How will you define single circulation? Here, the blood passes through a single cardiac cycle. Then what is a cardiac cycle? The cardiac cycle is made up of all the physiological events connected to a single heartbeat, such as electrical, mechanical, that is a pressure and volume, and audible events. That is, the heart pumps blood to the gills where it is oxygenated before continuing on to the rest of the body and returning to the heart. The oxygenated blood does not return to the heart but directly goes to the body tissues. Therefore, the heart pumps only deoxygenated blood. We will learn about the events of a cardiac cycle in upcoming videos. Amphibians and reptiles, except crocodiles, have a three-chambered heart with two atria and a single ventricle. They exhibit incomplete double circulation. The left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the gills, lungs or skin, and the right atrium gets the deoxygenated blood from other body parts. However, they get mixed up in a single ventricle which pumps out the mixed blood. We can see four-chambered hearts in birds, crocodiles and mammals. The heart is with two atria and two ventricles. Double circulation is seen in the member of these group. In the human heart, blood passes through the human heart twice in one cardiac cycle, and this type of circulation is called the double circulation. Let us now check the process of double circulation in detail. The oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood received by the left and the right atria passes onto the ventricles of the same sides. The ventricles pump it out without any mixing up. That is, two separate circulatory pathways are present. Pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation are the pathways of the double circulation. Do you know the mechanism of double circulation? We will discuss the mechanism of double circulation in upcoming videos. Now, let us summarize what we have learned.
Manorama Horizon. Learning made simple.